Welcome back. It is yours truly, Nick, a Movie AV Impulse, and today I'm going to talk about a 1985 cartoon that definitely should be made into a live action movie. And what do you get when you mix man and machine? Well, you get the Centurions. Power Extreme. Now, if you don't remember this cartoon when you were a kid, then maybe you're not as old as I am. But I remember watching this cartoon and absolutely loving it. Collecting the toys, collecting the accessories, and there were so many different accessories to get with these guys and mix and match them. It was such an awesome ride. And if you don't know the cartoon that I am talking about, stay tuned. And if you are anybody, a producer, a director, and you happen to come across this video, or a screenwriter, you may want to listen up, because this is another franchise and make millions and millions of dollars and keep it going for a long time. If we can do it with franchises like Transformers, G.I. Joe, then I know that the Centurions will definitely be a smash hit. But first, Crystal, I'm gonna need your help.
Switching from Sky Knight to Orbital Interceptor. Now!
Power Extreme! Power Extreme! Now, if you have never heard of the Centurions, let me give you a little bit of a breakdown, and I'll also let you know that you can order the complete series and or the mini series that first started it all on Amazon. They are only on DVD, but it is totally worth it. This cartoon was a non-stop action-packed adventure, and it always had something to do with either air, land, or sea. Now, what I mean is you had your three main characters, and that is Ace McCloud, who was an air technical specialist. You had Max Ray, who was the sea weapons specialist, which I think he was my favorite because he had some of the cooler looking ones. While Ace McCloud could fly around, it was just like, I like the whole like sea underwater thing. And every time, it's funny, when the other two characters would get in trouble in water, he would have to come and save them. You know, typical cartoon cliches. And then the final and third character out of the main ones is Jack Rockwell. He was a land specialist, so he had all the land suits. When I tell you that these guys had some amazing suits, they really did. Each of them had a set of like 5 different suits that they could use in 5 different situations. And I think it was so cool just having that. Then you had Crystal, who maintained the space station. She was the computer specialist, and that space station was called Skyvolt. It was just such an adventurous ride because you had your two main villains, which was Doc Terror, which was the main guy. All he wanted to do, and this is a crazy little plot, all he wanted to do was take over the world and make everybody turn into a robot. Now, come on, does that not sound like something that would just be a great action, adventure, real life movie? The way that it is presented here is just so amazingly done. Oh, and the other villain, his sidekick was Hacker. Hacker was already half human, half cyborg, kind of like RoboCop type of thing. But he was another one. He had all these different gadgets that would detach from his arm and he could use them. It was just such an awesome cartoon. There are so many things in this series that you could take 1 or 2 of the episodes, combine the story, and boom, make a live action movie. There was 60 episodes, not including the 5 miniseries. So To me, it is such easy screenwriting, kind of like Transformers was. You change a couple things here and there, but for the most part, boom, it was the same plot line as the cartoon. You take a couple of things like G.I. Joe. What did we do? We just took a couple of episodes, combined them, and you still had your main villain with a couple of twists. So with the Centurions, Power Extreme, you just simply take one or two of those episodes and boom. And here's the best part. Not only can you make money off of that movie with not that much of a budget, especially with the CGI technology we have today. I mean, if people can make movies off of iPhones and Google Pixels, there's no way you could tell me that this movie would cost billions of dollars to make. Not something like Avatar. So, like I said, it's easy screenwriting. It doesn't take that much. The foundation is already there for you. Now, when I talked about trying something like this before, starting this series, I did it on Mask, and I actually presented and laid out everything that you could do to make that cartoon into a successful live action movie. And I'm telling you the same thing here with the Centurions. You can just simply put actors in the exosuits that they use, CGI, boom, Power Extreme. They all got to yell it out because they had to yell it out every single time. If you do not say Power Extreme, it would not charge up, it would not beam down, and I don't think there was one incident in the entire 60 episodes where they did not say that at least 4 or 5 times an episode. So I'm just saying that if we take that same basic formula of just Doc Terror trying to take over the world and trying to turn everybody into an android or a cyborg or a robot, it's just such easy screenwriting. And not only that, but let's think about the merchandising here. The whole reason why the Centurions cartoon was started is because they came out with the toy line first. And of course, kind of like similar to almost every situation, wherever there is a toy line that starts, they have to get it out there. Same thing with He-Man. Same thing with G.I. Joe. Same thing with all these. It's all just to sell toys. So if you get the newer generation kids, like my youngest is 12 years old, if he's seen something like this, because he likes the Centurions, but I mean, it's animation from 1985. So to him, it's kind of like because he's so used to a computer generated CGI animation show. Like his Ninja Turtles were the Nickelodeon ones, and he likes those better than my Ninja Turtles from when I grew up from the 80s. So that's another franchise that, you know, we have beaten to death, and yet here we are coming out with another animation movie. Now, the reason why I'm saying that the Centurions would not make a good animation movie is because a lot of people don't know about the Centurions. So if you make it a live action movie, to some it may seem like it's really a fresh idea, but then when they go back into history, they'll learn that this came and started from a cartoon. And that would bring even more value to the older toys, and it will bring you more merchandising to come out with a new line of toys. And then we have side characters, 2 side characters that were later introduced into the episodes that you could even save for the sequel. And listen up, Hollywood, because this is where it gets interesting.
Message!
If Transformers, who, you know, Michael Bay did a great job on the first one, and then slowly it started declining. Now, in my eyes, I own every single Transformers movie. I am not ashamed to say it. I love them all. But that is just me. I'm just a huge fan. And even though a lot of things were changed, if you just keep the Centurions the way they are, don't change names, don't do this, you know, don't do that, I am telling you, this will be a blockbuster hit that you can start introducing the sidekick characters that came along later, like I said, John Thunder, who was a Native American, and you can start introducing other cultures into it. And then you can even start creating characters with the live action movie. And then the other guy that was introduced later on was Rex Charger. And it's just, it could go beyond what you are thinking. So I'm saying if you start fresh and you keep the Centurions the way it is and come out with a live action movie and then start merchandising everything, you have the potential, Hollywood and toy makers, to make billions of dollars. Hasbro, please listen up. Now, I think I may stand corrected. I have not looked, but last I knew, Warner Brothers owned the rights to the Centurions. And I think at one point it was Boomerang as well. So I'm not sure which one owns it at this point, but if it's Warner Brothers, come on, man. Let's stop coming out with Transformers. Now we're doing Beast Wars. I think you should have continued from where Bumblebee left off, because that one was better than Rise of the Fallen, Dark Side of the Moon, Age of Extinction, and The Last Knight. I think it was better than all of those ones, because in that beginning, what did you have? You had the retro looking Transformers. That's what people of my generation and a little bit older who were still into cartoons at that time, that's what we want to see. We want to see originality. Now later on down the road, if you want to change them, we might not be still into it, but our kids will be. Our teenagers will be. So just a food for thought. If you like this series, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. I got much more to come. And tune in on Wednesday where I go over my top 5 pickups of the month. And then, just as a teaser, you're going to have to wait until another week, because I got one more package coming in. It's a care package from one of my great friends. And man, it is going to be big. So anyways, stay tuned. Here, I not only provide you entertainment, but I'm here to bring suggestions and ideas to the late and great Hollywood. And Warner Brothers, congratulations on the 100 years. Now let's start getting these movies out. Come on, you guys want easy money flow? I just gave you an idea. Anyways, see you next week.
Thank you.